The following is a pre-recorded show. Welcome to Winning in Retirement with your host, Brian Akers, certified financial planner professional and founder of Akers Financial Group. Now, helping you win in your retirement, here's Brian Akers.
Welcome to Winning in Retirement. I'm Brian Akers, president and founder of Akers Financial Group. Here with me today is Jeff Akers, vice president of Akers Financial Group, and we look forward to our day together and the opportunity to bring our show, our radio podcast, to you, the listener. Winning in Retirement is put on by Akers Financial Group. Our website's akersfinancialgroup.com. And we welcome Jeff Akers, certified financial planner professional, to the mic. Hello, Jeffrey.
Good morning, Brian.
Thank you very much for being here today.
My pleasure.
Absolutely. It is your pleasure. I understand that. And everybody out there listening, Jeff Akers has the same last name. We have the same grandmother, different fathers and mothers.
Yes, but our fathers are brothers.
But we're not.
That'll do it.
And they call that cousins out there, is what they say. So with the show today, we have a very special topic, and that's one of our favorite topics we've done for years.
Oh, yeah.
But we got to redo it and do it right.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Are you retirement ready?
That's a great question.
So the question is, you're driving around. You could be driving your vehicle, driving your lawnmower. You can be sitting in a chair, whatever's going on. Are you retirement ready? You might already be retired. You might say, yup.
I better be ready. I'm retired.
Or you might say, I wish I really was better ready. I'm better prepared. So the idea in the show is we're going to put together a lot of information, and we're going to talk about the Akers Financial Group and how we handle that question for people and make sure that you've been thinking about this, because there's a lot going on. And what happens is sometimes the retirement isn't by our own choice. It's by the choice of others.
That's true.
And then we have to be ready for those kind of moments. And that's really one of the key things in the show is, are you retirement ready?
Right. We want to prepare for retirement so that we can plan on when, but we also want to be ready in case retirement is thrown upon us.
All right. So as financial planners, financial advisors, we actually calculate the numbers. We figure out the spreadsheets. We walk you through all the different choices in bringing retirement for you. That's the numbers. And then there's a second part. And you're very good at this, Jeff. What's the second part of the big decision?
Yeah, the second part is, are you emotionally ready to retire?
I'm not, Jeff. Don't keep bringing this up.
I know you are not.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian loves work, and he's been at this for, has it been 40 years now?
No. 38.
Okay, closing in on 40.
Yeah, let's not round up. 38 seems like a long time, but it seems like a blur.
It's a blur.
It went so fast.
But you've done a lot of stuff to help people get ready for retirement with the numbers and with the emotion of, okay, I can do this. Yeah,
every decision involves two parts. Do the numbers work out? And then, are you really ready? I mean, do you know what you want to do? Do you want to stop doing what you're doing, or do you want to keep doing it? Mm-hmm. Now, sometimes we get choices, and we call that financial independence, which is our first phase of retirement planning. Financial independence is where you know you've saved. You know you put money away. You paid off all your debts. You got your budget organized, cash flow organized, and you're ready to go. Financial independence is, I'm ready to go, but I want to work more anyway. Right. The numbers make up the financial independence. So that's step one. Get the numbers right. And so financial independence would be our goal for everybody that's out there, is be financially independent so that you can have whatever fit comes at you in life, where you might be told your job ends or not, right? Or our division or our company is moving to another one or changing. And then you have the opportunity. Your cards are there. Hey, I could do something different. Right. Once you've got that financial independence in place, I've heard people say, all right, well, if my boss does this one more time to me, that's it. I'm done. And there's a freedom in knowing that that's true, that you can stop whenever you want to because they need you more than you need them. That's financial independence. Yeah, you're making the decision to stay, and then you play the cards right the way whenever you want to and be able to start retirement on your own terms. And that's the dream most people have. Right. Not everybody gets that. Right. Sometimes about 2 or 3 years earlier than you want it, you get to knock on the door or can you come to my office type of comment. Sometimes it comes with an offer. Yeah. Sometimes paperwork, sometimes not. Right. Sometimes someone gets on TV and says something and everyone has a different job.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah, that can happen. All kinds of things can happen, but we want to be ready with the numbers.
All right, so let's talk about this. So, all right, emotionally ready. I believe in retirement, you need to know what you're going to do. You need to have an idea. If you say, I'm just quitting, well, what are you going to do? I don't know.
What's your next purpose?
Make sure we're retiring to something, retiring to something that's going to motivate and get us something to wake up and keep going on.
Right. I've got a client that I worked with recently that, it's time. She knows that she needs to retire. The work is just, she doesn't like it anymore, but she's done it her whole life. And so just the emotion of not doing it anymore, financially she'll be fine. That won't be an issue at all. But she's right now planning on, what do I do next? That next step.
All right. So what's that conversation like? What is her answer? Does she have an answer?
She has an answer. There's things that she can do volunteering. Mm-hmm. There's part-time work that she can do. Right now, there's not really grandkids to take up her time, but that could be in the future. So right now, she's got her next step for the next year or two, but then she'll have to plan beyond that, just the next step and then the next step. Some people, they want to travel a bunch when they retire.
And my favorite one on that was she retired on a Thursday and left for a 6-month combination cruise that she planned for 2 years on the Friday. And so we're having her sign stuff throughout the world as she was moving and getting her income set up. But she retired and I'm traveling and I retired Thursday. I'm gone on Friday.
I'm leaving.
That's the only one like that I know, that they were gone for 6 months like that in my history of things.
Ideally, you give yourself a month to get ready for the trip. But
well, sometimes in pensions nowadays, you don't know if you're going to get that pension first month of retirement.
Right.
Some of these estimates are done by some government agencies are saying 3 to 4 months before you get your first check. And then they'll figure it out and make it great over the next couple.
Yeah, and it can go up and down for a while until they figure out the real number.
Yeah.
That happens.
So the idea is this. You might need to figure out where you're going to live. Are you going to stay where you are? Mm-hmm. Do you have other ideas of second homes? Maybe you don't want second home. You just want to move somewhere else after retirement.
Right. Some people want to move somewhere warmer. Some people want to move somewhere with lower taxes. Most people end up wanting to be near grandkids if they have them.
Yeah. So the idea is planning that fits your goals. Retirement planning, what we want is to have these talks prior to the retirement date. Mm-hmm. We've had a couple cases. Somebody calls, say, I just retired a couple weeks ago, and I'm ready to come in now.
Right.
And we're like, oh, no, because we know when we see the papers and the numbers that they shouldn't have retired.
Right. But we show all of that, what it's going to do for them. And we ask them the most important question, I think, in retirement is, what do you spend? What are you going to spend? Cash
flow. Cash flow is the name of the game of retirement. It's not a number on top of your head. There used to be commercials where they had numbers on top of people's heads. Well, that's my number. I got to get to that number. The reality is you got to know your monthly number.
That's right.
My trick... I should have a drum roll for this one, but the trick in planning is this. What's your net bring home pay now?
Okay. So what are you bringing home after taxes, after insurance?
Right now.
After
are you happy with that? Do we want to add a layer of travel on top, of like sliver of travel, whatever you call it? And then there's our number to begin with. And then we can do a deep dive into your expenses and things like that.
Yeah.
Generally, over 2 years in retirement, you're going to come into with a general budget, and you'll feel the flow from the investments coming out, and you'll know that what room you have, where it is. But what's fun is when you're talking about, are you retirement ready? Does everything in your plan provide the same net income you have now?
Yeah, and honestly, you mentioned before, it's not just a number off the top of your head. There are plenty of folks that come and say, well, I'm going to spend about, and they give a number, and it's always lower than what they actually spend.
Right.
And so we have to work through that and figure out what's the real number that you actually spend.
For years, I've said, if you walk in our doors with your mortgage paid off, we'll tell you, yes, you can retire in a reasonable time period.
Right.
If you walk in with a mortgage, no matter what the reason, it's not the same. It's not going to be the same quick answer.
Right. There's going to have to be some other work done in order to get to retirement ready.
Yeah. I mean, if you have a $2,000 or $3,000 a month mortgage, All of a sudden, you need to have $500,000, $750,000, be able to pay the tax, then get the net to pay the mortgage.
Yeah.
And so one of our advice is to be out of debt. It makes retirement very simple.
Right. When your expenses are low, so you suddenly don't need a whole lot of income to cover your basic expenses.
Yeah. Then you do what you want to do.
Right. You've got extra then to do the trips, do whatever you want.
Absolutely. So the idea is this. Are you retirement ready? Well, I don't know.
Right. We have to talk to you about it.
Yeah, so it's not going to be a chart or a graph that we can run for free. Those are simple things. You can go anywhere. Even the AI, you can run your numbers on AI nowadays.
Right.
But the idea is to take the real numbers, the real deep numbers that are going on in your life, wherever you have money, wherever you owe, whatever the goals are, and get ready to retire. One of my big deals is what's in your cash. What are your next big expenses? Know what all of them are. Mm-hmm. What's going to break soon? Have been in the house 25 years? What's on that list? The roof, HVAC, all kinds of things.
And something that people tend to forget as they go into retirement is they're still going to need health insurance of some kind, and there's a cost to that.
Yeah, I'd like to say your mortgage payment becomes your health insurance payment.
There you go.
Don't like that, but I say it.
It's a fact of life.
Yeah, so the idea is this. Are you retirement ready? And then we talk about just getting yourself ready and how you're thinking about it. And the idea is you just got to think and prepare and look at the numbers and then think about what do you really want a retirement to be and then write it down and then let's get started at that.
Right. We are financial planners, and so we want to plan your financial future so that you can win in retirement.
Yeah, so winning in retirement is probably 2 years in, they come in and they relax and then they lean back in their chair and like, oh, this is good.
Right.
I love it when they do that. And the idea is what they worked hard for was to have the freedom, the ability to basically not have an agenda the next day. They have what they want to do. They have some general things they want to work on and try and volunteer at, but not rigid. Rigid, sorry.
Not rigid? Oh, okay.
English language fails me many times. Give me some numbers. I love the numbers. Oh, man. All right.
The numbers out.
All right. Acres Financial Group. We're local. We're independent. We don't report to a big company on Wall Street. We report to you. We do have offices in Forest Hill, Lutherville. We meet clients all around the Mid-Atlantic region, clients all around the country, and even a few around the world. It's so easy to begin winning in retirement. Just give us a call and schedule your free meeting with one of our team of advisors by calling 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WINRETIRE. We will give you a call on Monday to schedule your free in-person meeting. Go to acresfinancialgroup.com or call us at 833-946-7384 to start planning for your retirement now. Who will pay you in retirement? We will explain when we return.
You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. I'm Brian Akers, president and founder of Akers Financial Group. Here with me today is Jeff Akers. We are both certified financial planner professionals, and we're here from Akers Financial Group. We serve our clients as financial advisors, and we enjoy doing a radio show podcast called Winning in Retirement.
Oh, yeah, we have a good time talking.
And that's Jeff Akers on the microphone. Jeff Akers has been working with me for 25 years, Jeff.
Wow.
You were a youngster back then.
I was a youngster back then. That was
very true. Now, the show is called Are You Retirement Ready? That's today's show. How are you retirement ready? Have you thought about it? Are you prepared to answer that question? Do you know that you're not? Do you think you are? Do you hope you are?
Are you at least working towards it?
Are you in retirement saying, I wish I was? Like, there's so many comments about, are you retirement ready? What we want as advisors for you to understand is we want to have that conversation. The conversation is, are you retirement ready? Let's check everything out, and we'll come back and say the numbers look good, and then you got to figure out if emotionally you're ready to go, or if you're retired, how to be better prepared for what's going on.
Right, what's coming next. I think about the idea that the old you is going to look back at the young you, and is he going to be happy with the young you, or is he going to be mad at the young you?
Yeah. Most recently this week, I was sitting down with a couple in their mid-50s, and we're talking about where they are. And they're like, oh, we'll never retire. This isn't going to work out. And I said, well, tell me about your story. So we started listing assets, putting them into the planning software. And then, well, tell me about where you've worked. And then they tell me, oh, they have a little pension from here, a little bit from there. And then you have Social Security estimates. Yeah, let's put that in there. And then we look at the investments, and it's been a really good last 10 years for investments. Yeah. So we're putting it all together. And I said, well, how much money do you think you're going to need? We plugged that in. And then we said, well, let's just target 67.
Okay.
67 is Social Security, full retirement. Let's see how that works out. Ran the numbers, and I said, well, can you live off of $10,000 a month? And they're like, we don't live off that now. And I said, well, I think we're finding the range of that you can retire was sometime 67 or maybe earlier.
Right.
So we started with the first number 67, and we're moving it down. So the concept was, are they retirement ready? They walked in thinking they're never going to retire.
Right.
Now we're preparing to give them a ready. And then what's fun is when you pick a date, like let's say in the next few years, they pick 62, 65, whatever age, then we target that and go.
Yeah, there are folks that do a great job of saving and not having a lot of debt, but they don't really think about how's this going to work in retirement. And so like the folks you're talking about, they're like, oh, we'll never retire. We'll have this income and we'll just keep going. But then when we show them that, yes, retirement can be a reality, that age starts coming down and they start getting excited about, okay, I can retire, and I can retire way sooner than I thought that I could.
Yeah, I had a really nice couple that's incredible savers. Mm-hmm. And they're like still nervous, are they able to retire?
Right.
And the reality was they've saved so well. They're the multi-million-dollar 401k people. Like they create their own other problems.
Right.
The other problems are this whole idea of taxation.
Yeah.
And so one of the things is who will pay you in retirement. So if you have put the money aside and you need to live off this money, right, you got to say, well, what is the effect of each account? So these clients have Roth IRAs, they have pre-tax retirement, they have the matching, they have Social Security, a little in pension.
They might have pension, yeah.
So they have all these pieces. So what I walked them through was the beginning. Well, we're going to turn things on. You get the pension right away.
Right.
What's that number? Take taxes, take health care, and then they finally got all the way down. Right. Almost half the money was gone after that.
Here's your real number.
Yeah, let's call that 1,500 was that number.
Okay. Well,
that's not enough.
Right.
So where are we taking the rest of the money from? Now, in their case, because of being multi-million-dollar 401k people,
right,
I have to have a Roth conversation.
Right.
So what's a Roth conversation go like, Jeff?
Well, the Roth conversation has to do with the idea that a traditional IRA or traditional assets like that have a required minimum distribution age. Mm-hmm. You're going to have to start taking money out of it and paying taxes. Mm-hmm. And so if we can take some money out of those traditional accounts, convert them to Roth now, while tax rates are lower,
yep,
and we can maximize a tax bracket now, then when we get to retirement or RMD age, then the tax you're going to pay then is less because you've taken some money out of that multi-million-dollar 401k.
Right. So $2.5 million, you're at $100,000 RMD minimum to start, and that's if it doesn't grow the next 5-8 years that they have.
Right. So you've got a lot of money that's going to come out and you're going to pay tax on in the future. And right now we have pretty good tax rates.
It's permanent. One big, beautiful bill. It's permanent.
It's permanent until they vote to change it.
Exactly right. But you need a majority to vote to change it. So the brackets are permanent. Most everything else is only 3 or 4 years out. That's
right.
It.
Another sunset.
But let me get back to my story. My story is this. Right. Multi-million-dollar 401k people, a little bit of pension income. We need some cash. Do they draw Social Security now or wait? Because he's like 66 years old. And I'm like, well, let me give you 2 scenarios here. One is if we wait till you're 70, it gives us 3 calendar years to do Roth conversions on a mega level.
Okay.
So what I meant by that was here in 25 is your final year of work. Too much money being made. Roth conversions doesn't make sense unless we want to max the 24 bracket, which is around 420 before the deduction.
Okay.
So I calculate $100,000 they could convert for that.
Okay.
If they draw Social Security, that's the income that comes in. And when our conversion ability would knock down by 30,000, 40,000 of the Social Security, And so if we don't take Social Security, if they don't need the money for a year, we can convert even more.
Okay.
And so between 3 years, I think we can get, if it's worth 2.5 now, we can get $500,000 or more out of the pre-tax over to the Roth side.
Right, and that'll bring down that future required distribution.
It does. The hardest part would be is we have to have money to pay the bills every month and pay the tax. So they did what we wanted, and that was they saved cash, they saved Roth, they saved pre-tax.
Okay.
We had multiple buckets,
Right.
multiple choices. That's the dream world of retirement planning, is we get to move the buckets around.
Yeah.
So we went down and we were talking about Social Security, and I said, I think we ought to go January, right after you turn 69. You turn 70 that year. It's a little earlier than 70, but let's draw Social Security at 70. Let's Roth convert the 3 years before. And I didn't try to overwhelm them with it, but they said, that sounds like a really good plan for the next 3 years.
Okay.
And we had enough cash to fund any dream they have, any hope, anything they want to do. So that was great.
They could pay the tax on the conversion and still had cash available afterwards.
Correct. And we can use this 22 bracket, 24 bracket, and really settle things out pretty well in there and get them into a future estimate of 22% bracket for life was the concept, unless we outgrow with the investment side. So, like you do real well investments on the pre-tax.
Right.
It runs up taxable later. It's better to have all your growth in the Roth and let that double and triple.
Yeah, because it doesn't hurt you later.
That's more fun. All right, so that's that kind of story. But the buckets. Now, Jeff, tell me a story about someone that did not have all the different places of money. It's all pre-tax. That's their only source of retirement. They're retirement plan poor, basically. Tell me a story about that.
Right. So they got a lot of money that was in a 401k. We rolled that over to a traditional IRA. And now they're retired. They're like, I got all this money. It's like $1 million in their 401k. And they want to buy a car.
Yep.
So they go out over the weekend and they find the car that they like. And it was several years ago. So the car was $30,000.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah, it was. So they called and said, all right, I found a car. I need $30,000. We signed the papers over the weekend. And I said, okay, in order to get the $30,000, we're going to have to take a distribution of about $45,000 or $50,000 so we can pay the tax, and then we'll net you that $30,000. And there was this pause, just silence. Like, you mean my $30,000 car is going to cost $45,000 or $50,000? Yes, it is. And that's because you don't have all the buckets that Brian's talking about. Going into retirement, we want to have all three. We want to have some pre-tax that you're going to pay tax later. We want to have some that was already taxed with the Roth and you're not going to pay tax later. And we want to have some that's not either of those, not qualified. It's just regular investment accounts that you could use before 59 and a half. And also the taxes are different. You're paying tax on capital gains, dividends, interest, that kind of thing. And you can use that to buy the car without such a big tax hit.
In that scenario, you have someone already living on retirement, and then the only way it can have money would come out of the IRA taxable.
Right. They didn't have the other two buckets.
And so let's say they're in a 22% bracket, and then they want to take more out. You can go maybe past the bracket into the 24%.
Right.
So it's not like extra tax. It's just painful tax. Is that fair?
Right, that's fair. And they could be, well, the top of the 24 bracket is pretty high, but the next one up is 32.
Yeah.
You don't want to cross that threshold.
That's if you want to. I had a client want to give money to buy their kid to buy a house. They wanted like $150, and I said, all right, by the time you pay the tax and work this all out, what's going to happen is you're going to be in the 32% bracket. So I did a 3-year plan on distribution. And
right.
So mentally, I like 3-year as a combo, as a paying off a car, paying off a debt, trying to keep your brackets if you're stuck in a retirement, all in one type thing, a pre-tax.
Right. So these are some of the advantages of seeing an advisor, because we can help you with where the money comes from a tax standpoint.
Yeah.
The more money that you take out from investments that you're paying tax on, the higher Social Security, the more of your Social Security gets taxed. And potentially, you end up paying more on Medicare as well, and that's stair-stepped up, and it's like another tax on top. So we want to avoid those, or at least minimize those as much as we can.
We want to minimize the expense, but we want to maximize our bracket.
Right.
Maximizing our bracket, 12%, 22, 24, helps us fit things underneath a certain bar, and then we're not jumping to another level and paying more tax than we ever should.
Right.
So if we're maximizing our lifetime of withdrawals, maximizing our money, that means each and every year we want to make sure we're paying a certain amount of tax. Like when someone says, I haven't paid tax in years, I'm like, is that really the best thing?
Right.
During your 60s, most likely you should be paying some tax. Let's pay something.
Right.
Because if we don't pay in our 60s, we're going to pay in our 70s.
Sooner or later.
And that's called planning. And so what we've been talking about is this. How do you draw your money out? Financial planning is where we sit down and talk about your exact situation, where your money is, and then we figure out how we can help you. We love doing this. Planning for these kind of income, the streams, and where to get the money from is one of the favorite things that we do. We want you to be comfortable in your retirement. We want to guide you with decisions. We want to do the paperwork. We want to get the organization. We want to withhold. We want to send the checks monthly or lump sum. We want it all taken care of by everybody here at Acres Financial Group. So at Acres Financial Group, we want you to know that we want you to win in your retirement years. So go ahead and give us a call at 833-WIN-RETIRE. Call and schedule a free in-person meeting with one of our team of advisors. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE, 833-946-7384, or visit our website at acresfinancialgroup.com. What does milking a cow have to do with your retirement? We'll talk about that in the second half of Winning in Retirement.
You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Indeed, welcome back to Winning in Retirement. It's the second half of our Winning in Retirement radio podcast show. I'm put on by Brian and Jeff Akers. Jeff Akers is a certified financial planner professional, and so am I.
Yep. You've been one for a long time, too.
Yeah. Since 1991.
That's the second time I gave you a hard time.
Hey, it's okay. It's okay. I'm all right with that. All right. So, Are You Retirement Ready is the name of our show today. We have so many topics we like to do, but one of my favorites I got to bring out, Jeff.
Yeah.
I know you're better prepared than I am. But we're going to talk about what does milking a cow have to do with your retirement. But you have to admit that you grew up on a very small farm with a cow.
Yes, we had a cow for a while, we milked the cow.
You, Jeff Akers, milk the cow?
Yes.
All right.
I was very young, but yes.
All right, so that started your love for milk.
I do love milk. Milk doesn't always love me, but that's beside the point.
This is radio, Jeff. We don't want to talk about this kind of thing. We're talking about, all right, so you milked a cow.
Yep.
Right? Now, I don't mean to be mean to your cow, but if you had hamburgers at lunch from that same cow, can you milk the cow the next day?
Nope. The cow's gone.
All right, so try to explain our milking the cow concept, and then I will correct you after that.
Well, we have to understand here that Brian likes drawing pictures of cows, so you're going to need to come see him to see his picture. But the idea behind milking a cow is you take the milk, you use it, you live on it, and then you come back the next day and you milk the cow again. The cow's still there. It's still producing
twice a
milk.
day.
It can be twice a day. Yeah. And so you've got things to live on: milk, cheese, ice cream. That's a personal favorite.
Yeah.
So there's always
butter.
Butter. Yeah. So we're getting something from the cow without harming the cow, without killing the cow.
And so what does that mean for financial planning?
It means that it's going to last a long time. When we kill the cow, well, okay, the farmers will call and say you don't kill a milk cow or eat it, whatever. But in our scenario, you kill the cow, you eat steak, but you're not getting any more milk. So you'll eat really good for a short period of time, but then you run out. And we don't want to be in a position where we've run out.
That's when you're using principal on withdrawal too early in your lifetime.
Yep.
And that means that the cow has a life expectancy. Then instead of being money for a lifetime, our plan is to do financial planning, take care of the worst case scenarios, and invest for forever, invest for a lifetime.
Right.
And so the idea is to make that money last a lifetime. And that's why milking the cow, not killing the cow, is the key thing. So cows are things where we save our money. Your first job, everything you do in your career, you need to build some cows in your life.
Right.
Name some cash cows.
So 401k is a cash cow. That's a pretty easy one. You get a job, you get a match, maximize the match, and sock some money away there.
Right.
On your own, do a Roth IRA, maximize that. And then after that, save to some sort of non-retirement account, especially when you're young, because if you want to retire before 59 and a half, you're going to have some money that's not in retirement plans in order to do it, because you'll pay a penalty if you take money before 59 and a half and other things.
Yeah, so every cow has different shapes, sizes, rules.
Yep.
And so one of the things planners do is we know all the types of cows that are out there. When we use the word cow, we're talking about investments, we're talking about insurance, we're talking about anything that can create money for you, pension, Social Security. We know the rules, how to apply it, how to draw, when to draw, and how to help you.
Right. And just so you know, Brian's been chomping at the bit to talk about milking cows this whole show, so he's really excited.
I did not say it last quarter. I really wanted to. We're talking about drawing money out of 401ks, and we had different buckets. I wanted to say buckets. I didn't do it. So we held it off. It's as simple as this. You want to retire, where's your money going to come from? And you're not quite sure where to draw from first. That's what we figure out.
Right. And that's where we come in to help and say, okay, right now taxes are high, so let's not take it from a traditional IRA. Let's do it from a non-retirement account. I usually like to let Roth IRAs go a long time and let it multiply over time so that tax-free benefit's greater down the road. But that could be an option. And then there might be a year where taxes are lower. Okay, let's maximize the tax bracket, take money out of the traditional types of investments.
Yeah, so the way it works is this. Are you retirement ready? Yeah, ready? And we figure it out. And we say, yes, you are. Then we're going to ask about what money you want monthly. Do you want it to show up once a month, twice a month? What do you want?
Right. You said earlier in the show that you can plug numbers into any number of little calculators, but most of them say, all right, how much money do you have saved? But they're not asking, is it traditional IRA? Is it Roth IRA? Is it non-retirement? Whatever. And that makes a huge difference in how long the money is going to last, because the amount you have to give away to Uncle Sam is money that you don't get to live on.
Absolutely.
So we need to figure out which cow the money is going to come from.
And so we create this income stream. We like to basically make sure that some of it's going to last a lifetime, guaranteed. We like to make sure there's layers to it. We have different sources, different cows that we're milking and it's flowing. And then there's also a portion that's going to grow. The reason we want that extra portion to grow is we want to be able to keep up with inflation over time.
Yeah.
Keeping up with inflation over time is the true, real rate of return. It's truly what's going to matter every 10 years, 12 years in your retired life is, can you afford tomorrow?
Right. Yeah. The money that you're going to need to live on now and over the next couple of years, your biggest risk or most significant risk for that money is market risk. Because if you need the money, you don't want it to go down in value and then you have to take a withdrawal from it. But over time, you get beyond 10 years, your biggest risk at that point is inflation. And so that's what Brian's saying. You need something to keep up with inflation. He told me years ago, and I stole this from him because I liked it, but he said that our expiration date rubbed off when we were born. We don't know how long we have. So we want to plan like we're going to live forever when it comes to our investments, even though we know that we're not going to, but we want to plan that way.
I think my story was, we're not a milk jug. We don't have an expiration. It must have rubbed off when we were born. I think that was part of my joke a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago, but I liked it. So,
well, the concept is, if we had math, like, hey, you're going to expire a certain date, you know exactly how much money you need to take out. Now, it would mess with your mind.
Yeah, I didn't want to know.
So we don't want to know that answer. But what's the key thing in retirement planning is making sure you have your money last a lifetime. Now, in reality, the practical side of it is longevity risk. Longevity is how long might we live. And my thing is, let's add 5 years to that.
Right.
If Social Security says 82 and 84, men 82, women 84, I say 90.
Right.
And if the numbers work at 90, we're going to be fine. We'll be all right. If you say, I'm going to 100, let's run the numbers at 100.
Yeah.
If you say 105, let's do that. It's a plan. It's your plan. We don't have a cookie cutter already sitting on the shelf. We work together. Let's make it work.
Life insurance illustrations now go to 120. So the actuaries are looking at, okay, what if you go to 120? Because it's not impossible.
Correct.
That's a long time.
Yeah, our oldest client ever was 107.
Okay.
And she was doing poetry to 106. So that was pretty awesome.
Wow.
So the idea of this wonderful retirement life, you could end up retired more than you ever worked.
Right. So milk the cow, don't kill it, so that you've got money for those later years.
Money's got to last a lifetime. I don't like eating the cow in your 60s, when you're 60-year-old.
Right.
When you retire, I want to live off the flow. Don't get too carried away and start chunking it out too fast.
And that's where the planning comes in. If you're going to have some big expenses when you first retire, we got to save that money before you retire.
Oh, I had to do the letter again, Jeff.
Uh-oh.
You know what I mean by the letter?
Tell me what you mean by the letter.
All right. So, when someone's retired and they're taking too much out, and I had to write a letter saying it's going to stop at this date. We need to slow down.
Right.
Ended up they were taking extra out every month beyond what we were already sending them. And I showed them every date they asked for more money.
Yeah, you might not have an expiration date, but your
money was.
Your cow has an expiration date.
Yeah, but what happens is you take an extra withdrawal once. Mm-hmm. Oh, that was fun. And you do it again, and you do it again. All of a sudden, oh, this is fun. It's like free money.
It becomes a habit.
And so the reality is you've turned the whole spigot on. The bucket's going to be empty in 3 years, and there's nothing. Like you're working, like that person's working part-time, you're going to have to keep working the rest of your life.
Right. And that's hard to do as you get older.
The money has to work for you. The money has to be there. If you're working part-time, your early years of retirement, do you really need to touch your investments? If you saved a lot, you can. If you save minimal, we need that to grow.
Right. It's got to grow over time so that 10 years from now, you've still got money to live on.
So your situation and an advisor will guide you into what you should be doing and how to pull money and not to pull money. We will tell you the truth that you need to hear, which is not fun for those that have not saved well.
Right.
But for those that saved well, we're going to tell you the opposite, which is go shopping.
Congratulations.
But that's a rare person. That's not a normal American. A normal American is going to live on Social Security only and not have any money saved.
Yeah, but some of my favorite meetings are when people come in and they say, I really like to take this trip, but it costs this much money. I don't know if I can do it. And they've done a really good job saving. And I get to say, go, do it, take pictures.
And that's a wonderful thing.
That's the plus side.
But when people are listening to a radio show, some are listening hoping to make a change in their life. Mm-hmm. And so what I want that change to be is you got to start now saving something to your future.
Right.
If you're doing Social Security retirement only, that's a poverty level. That's not going to be something that's going to what you're going to want to do. I believe Social Security is going to suffer to keep up with inflation over time based on Medicare costs and other issues to the future. We need to know how to milk cows, how to take money, but you have to have the cow there. If we don't save it now, there won't be a cow there.
Right. You have to save while you're working. We all have a certain pot of money that comes in every month. We need to carve some of that out that we save first.
Live within your means now, and you'll be able to live within your means later.
Right, to building good habits.
Yes, and I wish every listener would make that a habit right now. Try your best to get things better off. Know where your money's going. Get started.
Yeah, as a rule, Americans have a hard time with good habits.
I wish I would say that talk is for the low-income people. It's not. It's for the high-income especially. Our high-income people will actually spend so much that we have to have the exact same talk because they want to live off $500,000 a year, and they can't because we did not save enough to do $500,000 a year.
They've got $2 million saved. $500,000's gone pretty quick.
Yeah, so we want the best part of retirement to be where we get our time back, where we know where everything is handled and taken care of. We want where the time is where you decide how to use it. Before retirement, your time is tied up with other commitments, mainly your job. A lot of that goes away in retirement. Your time is now consumed by things that you want to do. It's so easy to begin winning retirement. Go to our website at AkersFinancialGroup.com. Scroll to the Schedule a Meeting section and let us know you'd like to schedule a free meeting right there. That's AKERSFinancialGroup.com, or you can call us at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. We'll call you on Monday to schedule your free in-person meeting. Quick decisions have long consequences. We'll talk about this in the fourth and final quarter of Winning in Retirement.
You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. This show is put on by Akers Financial Group. I'm Brian Akers, and here with me today is Jeff Akers. We're both certified financial planner professionals from Akers Financial Group. That means we are financial advisors. We're here to advise you on your retirement, but it's general in nature on the radio. We ask you to call us and come in, meet with one of our team of advisors to help us be able to give you the very best advice that fits your needs. Today we've been talking about, are you retirement ready? You can go to our website at akersfinancialgroup.com. That's AKERS financialgroup.com. Check the radio podcast tab, and you can hear our past shows, hear this again, and you can listen to it slowly or speed us up if you really want to enjoy speeding us up and hear the topics you need to hear. Then give us a call to go ahead and set up that free time where we can talk about what we can do for you.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff. So, are you retirement ready? That's a question everybody's got to think about.
Yep, it's important.
And our advice this quarter is going to be quick decisions have long consequences.
Yes, some do.
Go, Jeff.
All right, so I'm just going to take the easy one, the low-hanging fruit.
Sure.
Social Security. If you take Social Security at 62 and you live to 90, then you did wrong. You did yourself wrong. And you can't change it. Once you take Social Security, you've got 1 year to change your mind. And it's not easy, because in that 1 year, you've got to pay back everything they paid you and then say, okay, I didn't really take it.
Yeah.
Well, most people that took it at 62 don't have the money to pay it back. So now they're stuck with that for the rest of their life, a lower benefit because they took it early. So Social Security is one of those decisions that you make once and it lasts the rest of your life. And it's a huge decision. I forget the exact number now, but it's like $800,000 over the course of a lifetime. It's a big decision when you take it. So it's important to see someone to make sure you're doing the right thing at the right time.
We have software where you can plug in your numbers and figure out a break even.
Right.
The hard part with that is that's a nice little calculation, but there's so much more in that decision on when to draw Social Security, right, John?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, one thing is your health. If someone comes in and they've got some sort of terminal issue or something that's going to cut their life short, then we're more inclined to take Social Security early.
Right.
But if someone says, yeah, my parents both lived until their mid-90s, let's wait. Let's take it later.
Yeah.
We'll get a higher benefit.
All right. So I got to cover things like pension choices.
Okay.
So when we get ready to retire, there's these pension packages, and the packages might say lump sum, and it might say single life, might be joint life,
right?
Might be joint with a pop off, pop up, pop off, pop up,
pop up.
Well, it's pop off first, then pop up. What I'm saying is this: let's say you're the pension person and your spouse is the other one, you take a penalty for adding your spouse. Now, if they pop off, then your benefit piles back up. So that's why I say it that way. That's terrible. But you pay money for that. So what happens is this. A quick decision is this. Oh, I picked something on my pension. And we're like, what did you pick?
Right.
We've had cases where we could have told them that their medical condition is terrible and they really should choose joint life, but they come in already selecting single life in their pension, and we're like, what do we do now?
Right. Your spouse is going to be left without when you die.
Oh, I get 8% more. Like, that's nice, but your wife gets 0 for the rest of her life.
You get 8% more for 3 years, and she's going to live 20 past that.
This is a couple. It was hard. I can't fix it, right? After that's done. I would tell you there's been 3 or 4 cases like that where we come in after the fact. This is what we did. In one case, the husband had passed away already. So the very large pension lasted 2 years and then was gone, 0. And we're talking a very large number, and 0. And then the money was supposed to be for the kids, and I'm like, no, this money is for you now.
Right.
Because that pension's gone. There is nothing else. There's no other cows to milk.
You've got to live on this.
Right. And that was another advisor had said, choose single life. We got enough money. But then they always assume that both spouses are going to live together the whole time. Oh,
yeah. You talked about before, software that you plug stuff into. If you plug in that both spouses live the whole time, all the way to 90, great. You took the single life. That's the most money you're going to get. But it's not taking into account what happens if that spouse dies before the other spouse, the survivor. And that puts the survivor in a difficult position.
Right. So let's go with the concept. You go to somebody that sells investments and you say, should I take a lump sum or pension? What advice are they going to give? Are they going to really lean towards the pension like we do?
Right. I can't promise that they're going to
do the math
or
do the planning,
care about anything other than, I can have this much under my management.
Well, what they might say is that, you control the benefit to your kids. Mm-hmm. We can get close to that number on your own. Right. If you don't need money, you can let it grow more. Those are all reasons to take a lump sum.
Right. But there are numbers to run to make sure which one is the best option.
Absolutely. And depending on the health care, and if you're not in the pension, do you still keep the health care? There's just different catches with every company, and you can't just say this is a standard answer.
And sometimes folks come in and say, well, this is the company offering the pension, but I don't trust the company.
Right.
I think there might be a problem there. Okay, well, that might be a reason to take a lump sum and you're not tied to them anymore.
Yeah, because pension benefit guarantee funds out there to provide a federal guarantee on pensions at a limit for the person that worked, not for the spouse.
Yeah. So the personal, you mentioned pop-up before, my personal favorite is you take the joint and 100% survivor with a pop-up. Mm-hmm. Because, yes, you get a reduced amount from that single life number, but it's going to pay as long as either one of you is alive.
Right.
And if your spouse passes away before you do, then it's going to pop up to that single life number for the rest of your life.
And that's a standard thing on federal pensions. That happens because they charge you basically a cost every month for the spousal, and if that goes away, it comes right back up.
Right, comes back.
So knowing these pensions from every company is basically planning, getting information, gathering it all together.
Right, and the default on a lot of pensions is a joint and 50% survivor. So you've got to take into account that, okay, here's my number, this is fantastic, but if you die, your spouse is going to get half of that. Is that going to be enough? Do they have other resources to make up the difference?
All right. How about this one? Quick decision, long consequence. This is going to be not a client story. Let's call it one of their kids.
Okay.
COVID hit. They decided I can be remote. I'm selling a house, and we're going to be in a camper. We're going to go all around the country and be in a camper for the next few years.
Okay.
So, an RV,
right?
Fun time, good time, a few years. The hard part is RVs are depreciating.
Right. And
in that case, if you have a family and you have a lot of kids, things could break.
Yeah.
And your value would drop down very quickly.
And they took all the money from the house to buy the RV.
No longer have real estate, which we love real estate.
Right.
We think owning real estate, and if you want an RV life, keep your real estate is the general answer to this.
Right.
But a quick decision, let's go on the road, we can, has a long consequence in that the fact that this RV after 3 years is done.
Ugh.
And they need to do something else. And they got to basically start all over again.
Oh.
The house money, what was good equity, was all used and driven away and gone.
I thought you were going to say that he got the notice that he had to come back to the office.
Well, he got that too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm supposed to help the parents, try to help them come up with an answer to make it all work. Oh yeah. So that was a tough one. But generally what happens in planning is this. I like real estate. I like when you own real estate. I rather own real estate and never sell it unless you buying another one.
Yeah.
I like 1031s, tax-free exchange to other real estate.
Right.
But if you get into something or go to rental or go another direction, all of a sudden you no longer have that asset. And real estate is an asset.
It is an asset, and it's not being made anymore.
No.
There's land out there, and if you own a piece of it, then that's not changing. It's going to have a value.
Yeah, you might not ever want to sell it, so it's hard to cash in.
Right.
But if you need the money, you can.
Right.
But the reality is this, is that we make decisions that might seem quick, and then all of a sudden it sounded good, and a few years later it's like, I wish I didn't do that. The concept we want to get across is this. Understand your core financial needs. Understand the fundamentals of finance and what you're doing with your money. Are you putting it all into a depreciating asset? Are you spending every dime you have? Are you going into debt every month? What's happening here? And make sure you know.
Spending all your money on a depreciating asset. Some people just like to buy cars, and they just buy the next car and the next car and the next car. And it's like, drive a car for a while, save your payment.
Jeff's not talking about the collectors, because collectors are different. That's
Yep.
more of a side business.
Yeah.
But we're talking about we got to have the new car every 2 years, or you lease and got to get the new car every 2 years. The hard part there is there's a magical way. If you don't spend the money, you can save the money.
Right. Yeah. What is that? A penny saved is a penny earned?
Yeah.
I heard that growing up.
Oh my!
In this case, it's $50,000 saved is $50,000 earned.
Yeah. So the idea here, are you retirement ready? And then as you're making these decisions, are you really retirement ready? Some of you might be losing your job right now. And you got to understand, are you retirement ready? Well, give us a call. Let's sit down and see, can you retire, or do you need to go find another job?
Right. Let's take a look at that.
Yeah.
And we've talked about some of these things, making knee-jerk reactions. Sometimes we see, our neighbor did this, or our friend did that, and we're like, I want to do that too. Well, just because they did it doesn't mean it's right for you.
Yeah.
So,
What's their story?
Right.
Like what is the circumstance they're putting themselves into that we don't know?
Right. You see one part of it. You don't necessarily see the whole picture. So let's make sure that we look at your whole picture and do the right thing for you.
It's like if you go fishing. You caught the biggest fish ever.
Yeah.
You don't talk about the another 8 hours that you got sick on the boat and all the other stuff.
Right. Didn't catch anything.
I like telling those stories, and because I don't ever catch anything. But generally the idea is this: retirement planning has to be your plan with an advisor that's looking at for your situation. That plan is something where you write down, you talk, you put it all together. Then you implement the plan. You manage the money with your advisor, and they handle that money, and they take care of you from here to eternity.
Right. Or at least for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And then your surviving spouse after that.
All right, Jeff, thanks very much for a good show about are you ready for retirement?
Retirement ready.
Are you truly retirement ready? That's what we covered today. We do look forward to meeting with you. We want you to win in your retirement by taking advantage of the opportunity to begin planning with us at Acres Financial Group. To schedule your free meeting with one of our team of advisors, go to our website at acresfinancialgroup.com. Scroll to the schedule a meeting section and let us know you'd like to schedule your free meeting right there. That's acresfinancialgroup.com, or you can call us at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WINRETIRE. We'll give you a call on Monday to schedule your free in-person meeting with one of our team of advisors. Start planning for your retirement now. Go to acresfinancialgroup.com or call us at 833-946-7384. Thank you for listening. I'm Brian Akers from Akers Financial Group, and we want you to be winning in retirement.
You've been listening to Winning in Retirement with your host, Brian Akers of Akers Financial Group. Akers Financial Group offers securities through Archedios Capital, an SIPC and FINRA member firm. Advisory services are provided through Archedios Wealth. Akers Financial Group and Archedios do not share any common ownership. Neither Archedios nor Akers Financial Group provides tax or legal advice. Advice given on winning in retirement is general in nature, and one should seek further advice from their financial advisor, broker, attorney, and or tax accountant before investing. Be sure to read each prospectus carefully to understand all the risks associated with each investment. Examples and scenarios shared are meant to be for illustrative purposes only. Past performance is not indicative of future results.